For example, the human resource department of a company desires to know if occupational stress varies according to age. The variable of interest is therefore occupational stress as measured by scale. There is only one factor being studied, which is the age, hence a situation appropriate for one-way ANOVA. We'll now have our null hypothesis, which states that there is no significant difference in the occupational stress of workers in different ages, and our alternative hypothesis, which states that there is a significant difference. The respondents are divided into three groups which ages are 30 and below, 31 to 40, and 41 and above. They are asked to take a test to determine their stress scores. In order to compute for the t obtained, we'll have to square all the scores and sum all of them. Then we'll get the summation of x total, which is the result when we add all the summation of x, the summation of x squared total, which is the result when we add all the summation of x squared, then the n, which is the total number of respondents, mean 1, 2, and 3. We are now able to compute for the t obtained. The first step is to compute the total of some squares. We'll have to substitute the required values that we got from our previous computations into this formula. For the second step, we compute the sum of squares between groups by substituting the required values we got from our previous data using this formula. For the third step, we compute the sum of squares within groups wherein we subtract the SS total and SS between. For the fourth step, we compute the degrees of freedom. First is the degrees of freedom between groups with k minus 1, wherein k is the number of groups. Then the degrees of freedom within groups with n minus k, wherein n is the total number of respondents. Then the degrees of freedom total with n minus 1. For the fifth step, we compute the mean squares. First is the MS between, wherein we divide the SS between and DF between. Then the MS within, wherein we divide the SS within and DF within. And lastly is to compute the F obtained, wherein we divide the MS between and MS within. This table shows all the answers from our computations. Now we compare the value of F obtained and F crit, which value is found in the F table. Since the value of F obtained is greater than the F crit, therefore it is significant. Then only if it is significant that we are able to proceed to the next step, which is the post hoc comparisons. Since the n in all levels of the factor are equal, we are going to use the two keys HSD test. Now we'll proceed to the computation by using this formula wherein QK value is found in the Q table. Then the answer to HSD is to be compared to our next computation. Then we subtract the mean 1 and 2, mean 1 and 3, and mean 2 and 3. There should be at least two values that would exceed the value of HSD for it to be significant regardless. Since we are able to comply with it, our decision would be reject HO and accept HA. Therefore, there is a significant difference in the occupational stress of workers in different ages.